How's it going, everybody? Got quite a bit to talk about in this video. A little bit behind on the news cycle because we've been doing so many deals videos, but I want to get back to covering some of the big news that has been dropping. Information is circulating about a potential God of War Trilogy remaster. This could be something that a lot of people would be excited for. I'm not crazy about the original 3 God of War titles, but they're good action games, and I think a lot of other people think way more highly of them than me. I much prefer the new style of God of War, but nonetheless, we'll talk all about that. And it looks like yet another major leak has happened with the Grand Theft Auto 5 source code being leaked, along with details about a potential Bully 2. I honestly don't think that game is ever happening, guys. Like, I think we need to lay that one to rest, but we'll talk about that at the end of this video. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. First of all, as noted on Eurogamer, original God of War Trilogy is rumored to be getting remastered. That's according to Xbox Era's Nick Baker, who announced on the 4th annual Grubsmas that he'd heard that a remaster of the first 3 God of War games might be happening, noting, "I for a long time have been a person who has bemoaned the direction of God of War when somewhat, and have yearned for the hack-and-slash OG God of War games. I just love them so much. I told a friend of mine who also loves the original God of War trilogy that this might be happening, then they got very excited, and I've heard that we might be getting the original God of War trilogy remastered on PlayStation." Continued, Baker didn't comment on a release timeline and whether or not it would be a straight-up port of the PlayStation 3 collection. Remember, we got the PlayStation 3 HD collection of God of War 1 and 2, and then we did get an HD remaster of God of War 3 on PlayStation 4, and there was also God of War Ascension, which was a prequel to the game. God of War Ascension kind of has that Batman Arkham Origins vibe going on for it, where it's like the forgotten God of War game, and, you know, I know Ascension was done by Sony Santa Monica in-house, but it's just not remembered like that, and I believe Ascension didn't do all too well from a commercial standpoint as well. It was an okay game, but nothing to write home about. Really, I would like to see the 3 God of War titles, that being God of War 1, 2, and 3, of course, Chains of Olympus, PSP title, and Ghosts of Sparta. Those games should be preserved as well, but if Sony gonna Sony and you wanna make a little bit of green, what you do is that you drop God of War Trilogy HD Remastered, you get that, that's gonna do very well, you can price that at $50 and people will buy that, and then you do a Volume 2, much like Konami is doing with Metal Gear. That's where you put God of War Chains of Olympus, Ghosts of Sparta, and God of War Ascension. You can get 2 separate releases out of that. I'm just talking about how Sony can make the most amount of money possible. Software sales is big these days, and I don't know why they aren't remastering more PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games. PlayStation 3 games especially, even PSP games, damn it. Why not remaster these games, re-release them, and guess what? It's not like these releases are supposed to be system sellers for the PlayStation 5. No, it's not supposed to be that. Nobody is going to go to the store and be like, "Oh, gee, Willikers, they got the God of War trilogy, God of War 1, 2, and 3 on PS5 now. I'll go buy that." No, nobody is doing that. But for the people that already have a PlayStation 5 or a 4, that being released at $50, people are going to be like, "Hey, God of War Trilogy, I played those back in the day. Let me go pick them up," and you're going to make a lot of money off the existing audience through those software sales. Why I mention it's not a system seller is because you can also turn around and release that on PC, and they will do very well on PC as well. We're talking, you know, minimal effort. Like, let's be real. To do a God of War Trilogy HD collection or whatever the case may be, it's minimal effort, and you release that on PC, it'll probably sell really, really well. Given how God of War 2018 did on PC, I don't imagine that God of War 1 through 3 would sell as well as God of War 2018, but the minimal effort that it goes into releasing something like that, and then you just get residual revenue for a long time. I don't understand why Sony doesn't do stuff like that. Ratchet Future HD Collection. Look, if it's to be believed that we gotta wait 8 years until the next Ratchet & Clank game from the release of Rift Apart, do an HD collection or an upgraded release collection of the Future Collection, because you ain't gonna do backwards compatibility. You already suggested that that's never gonna happen, so at this point, why not get Tools of Destruction, Crack in Time, Into the Nexus, and Quest for Booty, put that all in one collection, price it at $60, like suckers like me are gonna pay $60 for all 4 of those games. Release it on PlayStation 5, 60 frames per second, 4K, release it on PC, make your money. How much investment does it really need to create a collection like that? And Tools of Destruction never got PlayStation Trophy support because it came out in 2007, and that was before trophies had been implemented, so you also got that caveat being added to it. It's just a license to print money. Infamous 1 and 2, another couple of games, and I don't know, you know, from other publishers, there's games like Skate, and I don't know what the licensing issues for a game like Skate 2 and 3 are, and if that would be a barrier for them to remaster those games, but could you imagine Skate 2 and 3 getting remastered in a collection being priced at like 40 bucks, like literally free money? Like, not free money, because I understand it still takes a little bit of investment to get those games, but man, I just wonder, like, why isn't this happening? And I would imagine EA, Sony, they're way smarter than me, so obviously they must have thought about things like this, but they just don't happen. We get Last of Us Part 1 instead. We get Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and I'm sure those will do fairly well, really well even, but I don't understand why the games that are actually unplayable, Ratchet Future, Infamous, God of War 1 and 2, those haven't happened yet, but we'll get another release of Last of Us Part 2. Figure that one out, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. There's also titles like Bleach Soul Resurrection, like, that's a PS3 game I constantly go back to. I'm like, man, we can't preserve that game. Bleach 1000 Year Blood War arc is going on right now. Why not get some Soul Resurrection action going on PlayStation 4 and 5? I know, I'm like the one person on planet Earth that's clamoring for something like that, but there's so many games on PS3 that you could just remaster, work out a deal for, get it on PS4, PS5, PC, and just print money with those games. I'm not saying remaster freaking Haze, guys. They don't need to remaster Haze, but there's a lot of good titles on PS3 that are just being forgotten about. 3D Dot Game Hero is another one, but I digress. That's a rant I can go on forever. Moving on from that, Grand Theft Auto 5 source code has reportedly leaked with GTA 6 and Bully 2 details. Another major security breach, this time with the full GTA 5 source code allegedly being leaked, coming from Dexterra. Rockstar has had a hard time with leakers, and now it seems like the full source code for GTA 5 has allegedly leaked online. It appears to be a source code from the 2022 version of the game, and that could be linked to the original leak for GTA 6 with the early gameplay. According to GTA Focal, the source code was originally leaked to the public via a Discord message. The message contained a link to download the GTA 5 source code, a link that was quickly taken down, and then obviously once it's there, it is going to be preserved in that case. It's since been confirmed that GTA 6 was at one point codenamed Project America, something that was reported by Bloomberg prior, and that a file pertaining to Bully 2 was contained within this folder. There are no other details about Bully 2, and honestly, while I do see it making the rounds of people thinking Bully 2 is going to happen. First of all, here's the thing with Rockstar that you gotta understand. They've had a lot of projects in development. They've had a lot of projects that I'm sure that they have considered. I'm sure at some point Bully 2 has been on the table. A couple of things that you have to assess with Rockstar going forward. They know GTA Online will make them money hand over fist. If they're doing a true next, a true next project, it's gotta be something that is going to be a gigantic return on the investment. Their standards are gonna be very high in terms of their return on investment, given that the return on investment in GTA Online has just been crazy. The return on this investment on GTA 6 is gonna be crazy, and GTA 6 Online probably gonna be crazy. Bully 2 is probably not gonna have that level of return on investment, and you also assess the fact that they've got Red Dead. They're probably gonna do Red Dead 3 after GTA 6, and assess the fact that Rockstar takes about 8 to 10 years now to release games. GTA 6 is going to be coming out in 2025. That's going to be 7 years after the release of Red Dead 2. Well, that window gets longer and longer with every release outing. At least that has been the case. From GTA 4 to Red Dead, to GTA 5, and then to Red Dead 2, and now to GTA 6. Each game has taken progressively longer and longer to develop, and I would imagine that'll be the case going forward. If they speed up development, great, but I am not led to believe that at this stage of the game. So GTA 6 is going to come out in 2025, Red Dead 2, at earliest, guys, we're talking 2032, 2033, Bully 2, like, bro, like, 2040? Like, what are we talking about here, Bully 2? I don't think Bully 2 is happening unless there's something going on where they've got multiple games in development that we don't know about and Bully 2 is further along, but man, we've been talking about Bully 2 potentially happening for like a decade now, and I know people love Bully, but I think we just need to lay that one to rest. I think Rockstar's gonna stay committed to GTA, of course, and then Red Dead's gonna be their other big IP. And outside of that, I don't know, maybe new IPs here and there, but it's like, yo, you're waiting 7 to 10 years for these games to come out from Rockstar. it's like so hard to get excited about these games from Rockstar. I mean, GTA 6 is gonna crush it, and it's gonna do very, very well, but it just takes so long for these games to come out. So if we're looking forward to games outside of GTA 6, like a Bully 2, even a Red Dead 3, we're talking about like a legitimate decade from now going by until those games are gonna be playable. So just keep that in mind, and that's why it's kind of hard to get excited about stuff like that. But again, the security breaches have been super unfortunate. Happened to Insomniac. Rockstar has obviously felt it in full force, and then Ubisoft is reportedly looking into some security breaches as well. So really unfortunate as far as that's going on. It's whatever on the leaks as far as like game schedules and things like that. So really worrying is like the personal information being leaked. That is just super disappointing element of all of this, and really the biggest issue with all of this. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, God of War Trilogy, the original, might be getting remastered. That's great. Would like to see God of War 1 and 2. Obviously, you got the PSP games, you got Ascension, you could do a Volume 2 easily, but so many other games. Like, God of War Trilogy is great, but so many other games that I would personally like to see. Ratchet, Infamous, like I can go on and on. Like I don't need to go on that diatribe again, but GTA 5 source code also reportedly leaked with GTA 6 and Bully 2 details. Bully 2 I don't think is ever gonna happen, and I would really lay that one to rest at this point. But that's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.